everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today we are going to be doing a 2-page layout, and we are going to start by using some mixed media. If you saw my scrapbook.com haul, I just recently purchased the Nouveau Mousse, and this is, I guess, the Nouveau Embellishment Mousse. This is the first time that I have used it, and I just wanted to use it through this stencil. I am doing a color scheme similar to one of my last couple process videos. It is the same event, so I just kept the color scheme the same, but I wanted to try the mousse because on the other one I had used the Vicki Boutin Creative FX iridescent glaze, so I kind of just wanted to see what the difference was. And to be quite honest, I don't know if the mousse dried out in the 2-ish weeks since I got it and opened it, but I wasn't that impressed, to be quite honest. It was kind of chunky, and it wasn't like a mousse texture anymore. As you can see there, like the chunks just kind of fell out. So it was kind of hard to spread it around. The glaze was so much smoother and easier to spread. And I feel like it took to the stencil better. As you can see, some of the places while I was smoothing it over, the stencil kind of lifted up, and I don't know if that's why some of the fish are kind of smudged or what, but I just wasn't that impressed. I would rather have the Vicki Boutin Creative FX glaze, to be quite honest. So once I finished here with the mousse, I had to set it aside to let it dry because it is kind of thick. And so I actually came back to it a couple days later, and so I decided to trim the page and back it with a navy paper to kind of accent the navy fish there. And so I think I took maybe half an inch to an inch off. I can't remember exactly which one. And obviously it took me a while to get it lined up to cut it straight. That's one thing. I don't know if I just like move the papers once I have it down, but I tend to kind of have it a little bit crooked when I cut it, unfortunately. So I was trying to really get it straight since it was going to be backed with navy. And like I said, it is a 2-page layout, and so I wanted the second page to kind of have the same background. And so the cardstock are the same colors. Unfortunately, I don't have that color in front of me right now. I think it was a basil piece of cardstock. And so I use navy quite a bit, and because I just wanted it to be the border, I cut out the inside of it to use to, back papers or whatnot. Nothing scientific, no real measurements. I just kind of guessed where to cut it and came out with, the square, and worked good enough for the background piece there. And so I'd end up doing it with both of them and just taping that down. I tried to get it as straight as I could. And if you caught my last process video, I have been using my T-square quite a bit. So I really try not to use it in this layout and just kind of eyeball the straightness of the papers and the pictures and whatnot, because that was a bit excessive in my last process video. So once I get the 2 background pages done, then I can dive in. I use a Kaiser Craft collection there. That's what that sticker sheet is in the left-hand side. And you see that mixed media on the back side of there. So what I had done, I've been watching a couple of Vicki Boutin videos just to learn how to use her products and whatnot. And I feel like with the glaze, I think it was, she squirted it with, once she was done with the stencil, she squirted it with some water and then used it like upside down to transfer the what was left of the glaze. So I tried that with the mousse and it just was not, it did not come off. I don't know if I didn't add enough water or whatnot, but it didn't come off the stencil at all. So I had done it on the back side just in case, because I knew I didn't want to waste that paper. So I just did it on the back side of the paper and it didn't work. So that's what that little smudge was on the back side there. So this paper is actually from a Jen Hadfield collection, I believe, but it was in the same color scheme. And so I just used that paper and set it kind of to the side. I think I found a sketch off of Pinterest, or a layout off of Pinterest that I kind of went off of for this layout. So I kind of had in mind what I wanted to do. So I just used that, and I am going to kind of include that chevron paper on the second page of the layout. And then this is the back side of that chevron. And again, it just looked, it was the same color scheme, so it worked. So I bring that sheet all the way down. I have the chevron kind of overlap it. I kind of wish the chevron would have been a little bit longer, but it is what it is. And I'm okay with, you know, the finished product. I just, looking back, would have had it a little bit longer. And then I wanted some of the flags at the top. So I did find a piece of the scrap there of the polka dot and chevron paper. And then kind of use the other papers in the, I guess not the collection because it's not all the same collection, but I had kind of set aside the light colors, the papers that I would use, because I think this one is actually a Amy Tangerine paper, but it was, like I said, the same color scheme. So I already had them kind of set aside in the beach theme because I knew they would work with that Kaiser Craft collection, with that sticker sheet that you see. And I was gonna grab it, but it looks like I've already taken care of it, so I can't remember exactly what it is called. And then this paper here is actually in my scraps, but again, that same teal color, so I just used that because I did want 3 of them there. So I just glue those down, and I thought it'd be good. I didn't really do a title for this one because, like I said, this is like page 3 and 4 of the aquarium. So the first page has the title. So these are kind of just a continuation of those pages. So I don't really have a title. I just kind of use some stickers and kind of accent it, so to speak. So just, I trimmed down that shark because I wanted it to be a little bit smaller than the other picture. And to the left of the polka dot paper, you can kind of see, I wish I would have fixed it. I guess I can go back and do it now, but I had used some of the mousse and with the fish stencil there, but you can't even really see a full fish. It's kind of just like what, I don't know. It just, I might have to go back and fix it because it is just some random mousse hanging out there, not really in the pattern even of fish. So maybe I'll go back and work on that and fix it. And then I wanted the pictures to kind of pop, and so I backed them on white, which I don't think I really have done a lot of recently. But there was some white, you know, in the chevron there's white, and then in some of the flag papers at the top there's some white too. So I just wanted the pictures to kind of pop and stand out a little bit, instead of everything being navy. So I put those with white and taped those on down. And sorry, just ran out of thoughts, I guess, for the time being. I apologize for that awkward silence. And then I thought I wanted something to kind of a strip to go across, but then it would have covered up the chevron too much. So I just set that aside and picked up the sticker sheet. There was a sticker in the same color scheme. Life looks better underwater, which I thought was super appropriate because my son is in like a plastic tube almost that you could peek your head up through, and you're actually in the middle of the fish aquarium. So I just thought that was super appropriate and really cute. So I put that down at the bottom, and then there was a sticker there. I love days like these. And so I popped those up onto the foam stickers, and then I added a couple of stars with the same color scheme up there to finish that off. And then on that sticker sheet, you can see the fish border. And I didn't really want it all the way across. So what I do is I actually cut it about halfway, and I put that under the phrase sticker there. Just kind of to add a little bit more to it. And I think that finishes off the first page. Oh, I forgot. I didn't like how it was just straight on the edge, so I made that kind of into a tag or a flag as well. So a little more difficult now that it was taped down, but still worked pretty well. And I just like the look of that better. So I think that's the end of page 1. Page 2 here, I continued with the chevron paper, I believe. There we go. So I wanted it a little bit longer than just that little scrap there. So what I did is I found the rest of the scraps. That is the only page that I had, so I really had to utilize it. So this one here, I put the chevron all the way across, and there I do bring out the T-square just for this one, just to make sure it is straight, because it doesn't really look like it, to be quite honest. But then I have these two pictures in the aquarium. So my youngest and I in that little tube in the fish tank, and then me, there was like a, oh, not the escalator, the people mover, I guess you could call it, like they have in the airports, but it went under the aquarium. So that is me on that with a big turtle above me. And I think in the other 2 pages, I think there's some of me and a shark maybe. So that was just really cool to go under, be under all the animals and see them kind of, swimming above you. I would definitely do that again. It was just different, and yeah, just a lot of fun at the aquarium. So again, I am backing these 2 with the white as well. Man, I wish I had the layout right in front of me. I got so eager yesterday that I just put everything right away instead of keeping them out to do the voiceover. Whoops. So once these are backed, I am going to put those down. And lately I've noticed that I have had the pictures touch a lot and just have like one paper in the background, whereas these are 2 separate. So not really sure why I kind of went back to my old ways. I don't know, just switched it up a little bit, and I like how it looks. Maybe because on the left hand side the shark picture is smaller, so it would have been kind of harder to like have them on the same piece. So then what I do is I just kind of copy the first page layout there onto the second page and find some different papers to make the flags out of and put those at the top. That kind of wave paper, I believe, is the back of the big flag on the right hand page. I think that's the back side of that paper. So again, just kind of incorporating the same papers, the same color scheme with everything. And then the background was just kind of plain. So a lot of times what I do is I'll like do the splatter, but I decided to try something different. I had actually just gotten new Distress Oxide colors from Hobby Lobby. They were 40% off this week, so I ended up getting the Chip Sapphire color. I wanted more of a navy color than the faded jeans, so I picked that up. So I'll end up using that. And I forgot that I did use a couple of stickers. Again, it kind of just mirrors that, the two pages just kind of mirror each other. So this one says never a dull moment, and then I grabbed the rest of that fish sticker, border sticker, and placed that across there. So that finishes off the sticker embellishments, and here's where I use that Chip Sapphire Distress Oxide. I thought about using the mousse, but to be quite honest, I was not very impressed with it, so I decided to use the Distress Oxide instead, and actually like that quite a bit better. Plus I didn't really want the dry time. I thought I could kind of manage the Distress Oxide a little bit better, which actually ends up not really working. The stencil kept moving on me, and then I couldn't re-ink the picket fence brush there. So I like how it ends up. I probably would have done some more down on the bottom and whatnot, but it is what it is, and doing it one-handed, trying to keep the stencil in the same place was a little bit difficult. And then here I just kind of raised that flag just so I could get it under, so it didn't, look like it was just randomly placed there. And then I finish off on the top right there with just a little bit what I had left over on the brush, and I think that finishes the layout. So I appreciate you guys joining me. Here are some still shots, and I would love if you click the subscribe button and like and comment on my videos, and I will see you next time. Thanks, guys.